Welcome to this explainer. Today we are embarking on what I like to call the anatomical odyssey. Now, we're not just going to look at the human body as a series of, static, boring textbook diagrams. Instead, we are going to explore it as a high-stakes, microscopic universe that is fighting a relentless battle for survival every single second of every single day. I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through this because, honestly, when you truly see the biology operating just beneath your skin, it'll change the way you look at yourself forever.
Okay, let's dive right into this because I want to kick off our journey with a fact that absolutely blew my mind. Your eyes are so profoundly sensitive, so perfectly engineered, that under the right conditions, they can actually detect a single solitary photon, literally a single particle of light. You are walking around right now with biological sensors of unimaginable precision. And that incredible level of precision? It begins in the very first moments of your existence. Section 1. The spark of life, the daring mission of conception. We often think of life's beginnings as this gentle, quiet, peaceful process, right? Well, biologically speaking, it is a suspenseful, time-sensitive, and highly dangerous mission where the odds of survival are incredibly slim. It all starts right here with a zygote. When a sperm merges with an egg, they form this brand new, totally unique single cell. And the instant this happens, a complete, unalterable genetic code is created. Everything from your eye color to your hair color is locked in during this explosive beginning. You literally start as one single cell containing the entire blueprint of a human being. Let's look at how this builds across that rapid first trimester timeline. In week 2, we have ovulation and conception. Boom. By week 3, that single zygote has rapidly divided to form a hollow ball of cells called a blastocyst. But week 4, that is where the tension peaks. This fragile blastocyst has to hatch out of its outer layer and successfully embed itself into the thickened uterine wall. It's a daring, make-or-break process called implantation. If it survives this, we enter the embryonic period where the magic really happens, culminating in a 1¼ inch fetus by week 10. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer physical toll it takes on the mother's body. These first trimester realities, the extreme fatigue, the nausea we casually call morning sickness, the rapid mood swings, they aren't just random side effects. They are the direct result of a massive sudden flood of hormones circulating through the body to ensure this new life has the absolute support it needs to survive its most vulnerable stage. Which brings us to a seriously mind-bending reality. By week 5, the heart has already begun to beat. So ask yourself, if a single cell can divide, organize, and build a beating heart in just 5 weeks, what else is happening in the dark? And more importantly, what keeps that heart beating for the next 80 years? That brings us to Section 2, the relentless pumping engine, survival of the heart. To really understand the cardiovascular system, you have to picture it as a tireless, lifelong engine that cannot take a single break. If the engine stops, the whole microscopic universe collapses. But like any engine, it can break down. And in the human body, we see this critically in congestive heart failure, which happens through 2 distinct high-stakes points of failure. Step 1 is systolic failure, where the heart muscle is simply too weak and just cannot pump hard enough to push blood out to the body. Step 2 is diastolic failure. Here, the heart muscle gets too stiff. It cannot relax and fill properly with blood. In both of these scenarios, the body's tissues are essentially starved of the oxygen they desperately need to survive. And oxygen is the literal fuel for this engine. Just look at the stark contrast between normal breathing and sleep apnea. Normal breathing provides a steady, rhythmic flow of oxygen that allows the heart to rest and repair itself. But with sleep apnea, the airway collapses. Oxygen is violently cut off. The brain panics, adrenaline spikes, and the cardiovascular system is thrown into high alert, raising blood pressure and putting immense strain on the heart muscle right when it's supposed to be recovering. Sleep is absolutely critical to heal our engine, yet so many of us struggle with what medical experts call the sleep paradox. Why is it that the harder you try to fall asleep, the further away sleep is pushed? Well, it's because the anxiety of trying to sleep actually activates your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response. You literally cannot force your body to power down when your brain senses a threat, even if that threat is just your own frustration. Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, the subconscious mastermind, the brain in the shadows. While your conscious mind is busy worrying about falling asleep or, what to eat for lunch, the vast majority of your nervous system is operating completely off the grid. It's like a silent puppet master pulling your strings just to keep you alive. Get a load of this. Your brain corrects your movements before you even notice. If you trip over a curb, your brain instantly calculates the trajectory of your fall and fires signals to your muscles to catch your balance milliseconds before your conscious mind even realizes you've stumbled. You are constantly being saved by a shadow version of yourself. And this brilliantly illustrates our autonomic defenses. These systems manage the internal circadian rhythm to tell your body what time it is. They automatically expand and constrict your pupils to protect your retinas from light damage, and, as we just saw, they execute those preemptive movement corrections. The whole operation runs purely in the background. So, it begs a philosophical but highly biological question. If your brain acts before you even know you're falling, who is really in control? We are basically passengers in our own fortress, and that fortress requires constant defense from things we can't even see. Section 4. The Invisible Microscopic War, Defending the Fortress. Because every single day, your body is under siege. It is a heavily fortified castle surrounded by a microbial army just looking for any weakness in the walls.
Think about healthy cell function versus viral infiltration. A healthy cell is a perfectly functioning factory, taking in nutrients and creating proteins. But a virally infiltrated cell, whether that's by COVID-19, HPV, or influenza, has been totally conquered. The virus doesn't just damage the factory, it completely overwrites the factory's instructions.
It is a chilling, step-by-step biological hijacking. Step 1, the invisible enemy breaches the cellular membrane. Step 2, it hijacks the internal cell machinery, swapping out the cell's DNA instructions with its own. And step 3, it turns our own biology against us, forcing that hijacked cell to blindly replicate thousands of new viruses until the cell bursts, spreading the infection even further. But it's not just microscopic threats that can instantly shut down our fortress. Did you know a targeted punch to the liver can shut down your entire body instantly? It's true. The liver is massive, it's filled with blood, and it's packed with nerve endings connected directly to the autonomic nervous system. A strike there causes a massive drop in blood pressure, and your brain instantly forces you to collapse to protect your organs. Our fortress has sudden, critical weak points, both inside and out. So, how do we protect this fortress? How do we keep the engine running smoothly and the mastermind sharp? That brings us to our final section, the future of healing, optimizing the human machine. Modern medical science is making a huge shift from merely treating disease to proactively optimizing our lifespan and health span. A big part of this is truly understanding the reality of aging. Take the difference between mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, and dementia. MCI involves noticeable changes in memory, like misplacing your keys, but it doesn't severely impact your daily life. Dementia, however, is a clinical pathology where cognitive decline fundamentally disrupts independent living. By clearly differentiating normal aging from actual pathology, science can target precise interventions before the brain is permanently compromised. So the crucial point is how we implement human optimization strategies. In our modern world, the bar for human performance is higher than ever. We constantly feel this need to do more. But biologically, we absolutely require rest. We have to reconcile this by prioritizing high-quality sleep to heal that cardiovascular engine, and by utilizing targeted nutrition to maintain our cellular factories for graceful aging. You simply cannot cheat your biology. There's a quote that perfectly captures the future of health. Human optimization is the process of achieving more while simultaneously improving your wellness and well-being. It is not a trade-off. By mastering your body's need for recovery, you actually elevate your peak performance. Medical experts note that cellular regeneration has up to 600 trillion combinations and pathways in the human body. Your body is a miraculous self-healing machine, provided you give it the right environment. So I leave you with this. With 600 trillion combinations of human regeneration happening inside you right now, what will you change today to optimize your own anatomical odyssey? Thank you so much for exploring this incredible microscopic universe with me.